What's going on, guys? It's Spiderwolf back for another Umamusume video. So today we're going over the brand new Hishi Amazon Uma that's going to be coming out very soon, and a brand new support banner with 2 new support cards, and we'll take a look at how good or bad they are. But before we get started though, I would really appreciate if you guys could drop a like, comment, subscribe. Would really help me out trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But with that being said, let's get into this. So as you guys can see, we finally got a brand new announcement for Hishi Amazon dropping tomorrow, as well as this new support card banner, which has something called Bamboo Memory and Shinko Windy. Now Shinko Windy is actually a pretty good SR card. We'll get into that in a little bit. The Bamboo Memory one is not nearly as great, but you know, as I said, we'll take a look into more details for all of these things. So starting off with Hishi Amazon, she has 105 into power. That's her main stat that she has a lot of strength into, or a lot of points into immediately off the bat. Then it's going to be speed at 93, then it's going to be wit at 86, and then we have stamina at 84, and then guts at 82. So our 2 weakest ones are stamina and guts, but she does have a pretty good amount of power starting things off right away. Now she has a growth rate for 20% for power, so it's, you know, she's going to get a lot of power, and 10% for guts, which makes sense because, you know, with power you kind of want to have guts. Granted, at the same time, guts isn't really that great at the current moment, right? Now, she's really good at tracks for, you know, she has an A for turf tracks. I mean, you know, yeah, I don't know why I said she's really good in tracks, because, you know, you never really specify, but yeah, she's really good in turf tracks. She has A ranking, which could jump to S. Dirt, not really that great, probably really would not run her any dirt tracks. For distances, she's really good at miles, and really good at mediums, can work for longs, and she's not really that great for sprints, but you can maybe make her work. But the one that's going to be easier to make her work for is going to be long. Otherwise, mile and medium is going to be your go-tos. Now her styles, she can work as a pace chaser, but she's more preferred to be an end runner, which is pretty, or end closer, which is pretty cool. You can maybe make her work as a late runner, but it's going to be a bit rough. And then she's non-existent for front running, like literally no point. Now, her potential skills here, which are basically going to be her ascension skills when you do ascend this Uma. First one here, we got end closer straightaways at 130 skill points, slightly increased velocity on a straight as an end closer. At level 3 here, the next one, unyielding 160 skill points, increased ability to fight back when passed by another runner on the final corner, medium. Then we have end closer corners, 130 skill points, slightly increased velocity on a corner, and finally, also has to be an end closer here. And then finally, Strum and Drang at 180 skill points, move up in preparation to close the gap late race as an end closer. Now, out of all these, I think unyielding might not be too bad, since she's going to be end closer. She's going to be able to, you know, the idea is for her towards the last part of the race, you know, last corner, last straight. She's, you know, it's gonna help her pass them all the Umas up ahead of her, so that's gonna be pretty cool. The first one's also not have that either, just gives her more velocity, which is pretty great on a straight. And then we have another one for a corner, so 2 really good ones. So honestly, all her ascensions are pretty good in my opinion. Last one at level 5 isn't really like too crazy in terms of like getting a lot of speed, but at the same time, move up in preparation to close the gap in late race does sound kind of useful. So this could potentially also be really good. And then of course her unique skill, You and Me, one-on-one, increased velocity when passing another runner on the outside toward the back on the final straight. So this sounds like you have to have good good movability, you know, like good maneuverability, like actually having your Uma, in this case this Uma, be on the outside. And then of course you have to have her as a late or end runner, so she can actually take full advantage of this. So this one doesn't seem that crazy of a unique skill, but it's okay. We'll look at more details though for the Google Doc, because that'll have a bit more details as to any, like, maybe she's really good in this or really good in that, or she's just kind of ass, right? Anyways, here we go to the support card here, the SSR one, Bamboo Memory. So as a career event, Rising Dragon, increased velocity when passing another runner on the outside of the final corner as a late surger, so very akin and very similar to Hishi Amazon's unique skill, which is pretty interesting. And then we do have the SR1, which I don't think they popped up here, but we'll take a look at it regardless, even though if it's not here. But before we do that, let's take another look at Hishi Amazon. Let's look into more details thanks to Game Tour here. See what we're working with. So we have her at max dupes. You know, these are her stats here: 113 speed, 103 stamina, 129 power, 100 guts, and then 105 wit. Went over these, and then here's her innate skills, which let me just double check. I always forget sometimes if these are the same thing or not. Let's see. Increase velocity. Because like this one's like, this seems different compared to the other ones here, so these might be different. But anyways, she has go with the flow here, moderately increase navigation late race, masterful gambit, slightly move up in preparation and close the gap late race as an end closure, and finally steadfast, slightly increase ability to fight back when passed by another runner on the final corner on medium races specifically. Then we went over the awakening skills, and then here's going to be the evolve skills. So first one here, we have unyielding, and unyielding is increased ability to fight back when passed by another runner on the final corner for medium races. So the requirements for this one are you have to either win the Hanshin Juvenile Files, Shuka Show, or have at least 800 power, and you have to get at least 2 skills for medium aptitude. So basically anything that like requires you to have only be used on medium races. And unyielding now transforms into Victory Roar. And Victory Roar is whenever you're doing any medium races, if you're about to overtake somebody or pass someone, starting on the final corner, your speed will greatly increase and your acceleration will slightly increase as well. So I'm going to say velocity and acceleration will both increase. That actually sounds very, very good. Much better than just the general increased ability to fight back when passing another runner. So that sounds really, really good because you're getting some speed buffs out of that. So that's very cool. And the next one here, unyielding, this is another potential that it could transform into. For this one, you have to win at least Shuka Show, or have at least 600 fans. have at least 600 guts, my bad. And then get at least 3 speed type skills. And this one transforms into a one-on-one obsession, which is actually... I thought that was the same thing as for unique skill, but it's different here. And this one basically on any medium races, if you ever take someone during the final corner when there's at least 200 meters remaining in the race, your speed will greatly increase. This one's not too bad, but at the same time it's very specific on like, if you know you're going to do a race where the last part is 200 meters, this might be good. But this one doesn't seem nearly as good as Victory Roar. Victory Roar seems a lot better in my opinion. Lastly here we have Strum and Drang, which this one is the last one here. Move up in preparation and close the gap as a late races as an end closer. This will upgrade into Tempestuous Porolica, and then basically condition for this one is win any graded race as an end closer, being #1 favorite 6 times. So basically this is the requirement of you have to run Hishi Amazon as an end closer, and then she has to be the #1 favorite at least 6 times during the careers. So this one might be a bit difficult because she has to be favorite like #1 like 6 times in a row, or not in a row, but like in just at least you need a max of 6 times, right? But the buff of this is it looks like if she's a pace chaser, if you were in the second half of the pack, or the second half of the pack in the final part of the race, then during the first half of the last spurt or the straight, your speed will greatly increase. So that's not too bad, I suppose. So I think what it's saying is that if you're in the second half, not in the front, but like in the second half, the one behind, for like the pack of the race, because you have your front runners that are like towards the front, and then you have the ones on the back, right? Basically, what we're saying is that if you're in the back on the final part, like I guess the final corner here, then the moment you hit the final straight, then you'll get like an extra speed boost basically, or velocity. So that's not too bad, I suppose. Then we have skills from events here. Home Search Haste, which is my personal favorite of mine, slightly increased velocity in the last spurt. And then we have Steadfast here, slightly increased ability to fight back when passed by another runner on the final corner for medium races. And then here's going to be all of Hishi Amazon's races here. So we have the generic participate in Junior Might debut. Then we have place 5th or better in Hanshin Juvenile Files or Phillies. And then we have place 5th or better in the Oka Show. Then we have place 5th or better in Japanese Oaks. Then we have place 3rd or better in Shuka Show. Then place 3rd or better in Army Kennen. Then we have place 1st in Osaka High. Then we have place 1st in Yasuda Kinen. Then we have place 1st in Japan Cup. And then finally we have place 1st in the Army Kennen. So a lot of Army Kennens here. Decent amount of shows. I guess it's a little bit different, huh? But definitely a lot, at least 2 Army Kennens, which is pretty interesting. But yeah, that's basically all the races. So if any of these races interest you, then there you go. In terms of if she's like a worthwhile pickup, we'll go into that in a little bit more detail in a second here. But initial thoughts, for my opinion at least, she seems okay. If you don't have that many like end runners, I guess she could be alright, but in terms of like what she's offering for skills, doesn't really seem that crazy to me personally, at least. Now, going on the support card here, Bamboo Memory. At level 1, this is what we're looking at. And usually, as we all know, level 1 zero dupe SSR cards are kind of not that great compared to the MOB SR cards. But we'll take a look at what it looks like as zero dupes here before we get to max, before we go to MOB. So, starting things off with zero dupes, we have the unique effect here, which increases power when training together +1, which is kind of cool, and then increases initial power when beginning career playthrough 20, and then we have friendship bonus 20%. Training effectiveness 10%, initial friendship gauge 20, initial power 15, raise bonus 1%, which is very low. Then we have fan bonus 5%, so not really that great. Overall, these stats are pretty bad. These are the hints though that you do get, so these are going to be all the discounted skills you do get. So you're going to get a discount for target and sight, moderately increased performance when the favorite is using the same strategy. That one's not too bad. We got straightaway adept, slightly increased velocity on a straight. That one's pretty good. Gap closure, slightly increased spreading ability when positioned toward the back late race sprint. This one might be okay, but not that super crazy. We have mile straightaway, slightly increased velocity on a straight mile. This one seems not too bad. Late surger straightaways, slightly increased velocity on a straight late surgers. This could be really good for Hishi Amazon. Acceleration, slightly increased acceleration when passing another runner mid-race mile. This could also be really good on Hishi. And then we have stat gain of +2 stamina and +6 power. And these are skills from events. These are the ones you're going to actually be getting like that pop up, right? They can potentially get. So we have competitive spirit. Moderately increased performance when at least 5 other runners are using the same strategy. Home throw chase, slightly increased velocity in the last spurt. This one's, like I said, one of my favorites. I think this one's pretty good for the most part. We have running idle here, which is the first purple skill I've seen. Moderately increased fatigue when in the lead by too large of a margin. So that's interesting. So a bit of a debuff skill here. Basically saying that if you're too far in the head, like if you're trying to pretend to be a front runner, then this will basically bite you in the ass. So that kind of sucks. We do have a debuff thing here though for hesitant late surgers, slightly decreased velocity of late surgers, late race, rising dragon, increased velocity when passing another runner on the outside of the final corner late surger, which is very akin to what Hishi does already with her unique skill. Then we have adder swell, slightly increased velocity when passing another runner on the outside on the final corner as a late surger. And then we have standard distance, moderately increased performance over standard distances multiples, full 100 meters. So overall, decent stuff, nothing too crazy, but some like decent skills here and there. I do feel like this character, if you are gonna be running Hishi Amazon, you may be wanting to run a deck that has a lot of skills that like apply to being able to have her move to the outside, like a lot of maneuverability skills. That might be the play for using Hishi Amazon, among other things. Now let's take a look at an MLB real quick. So MLB, we're now getting 5% for 25% friendship bonus. Then we're getting 15% of training effectiveness, so an extra 5%. Initial friendship gauge now goes up to 30 instead of 20. Then we get initial power of 25. Then we get a race bonus of 5%, which is not that great, still pretty low, but it's, I guess, better. Then we have fan bonus of 10%, which is cool. We have skill bonus 1, which increased skill point gain when training together, almost okay. Then we have hint level 3, which is actually pretty good. It gets you a bigger discount, so it's very nice. Then we have hit frequency 40%, which is also not bad. So overall, what this card is giving isn't really that great, and the skills are decent, but I don't think this is a card you really need to go out of your way for, in my opinion. Now, here's the SR card. We're gonna just take a look at the MLB version because that's what really matters. Because this is gonna be like the way you're gonna be running it. So, MLB unique effect increases the effectiveness of training by increases the effectiveness of friendship training by 10%. Increases the initial friendship gauge when beginning a career playthrough by 15. Friendship bonus is 25%. Race bonus is 10%. Fan bonus is 20%. Initial speed is 25. Mood effect 30%. Specialty priority 35. Training effectiveness 5%, and a speed bonus of 1. So overall, off to a really great start. This is really good stuff here. We got a lot of juiciness for race bonuses. Friendship bonus is great. The mood effect is also great too, so that way you don't have to rest as often. So a lot of great stuff here for MLB. And here's going to be the skills. So support hints. Like I said, there's going to be the discounts. We have work conditions, moderately increased performance on ground, soft, and heavy ground. This one's okay. Competitive spirit, moderately increased performance when at least 5 other runners are using the same strategy. Then we have prepare to pass, slightly increased ability to break out of the pack on the final corner as a pace chaser, so that one's not too bad. Hesitant front runner, slightly increased velocity of front runners late race, speed +6, power +2, that's good. Skills from events, shifting gears, slightly increased passing ability when positioned toward the front mid-race for mile races. And finally, unyielding spirit, slightly increased passing ability for miles. So overall, support hints and the skills from events are kind of lackluster, but the overall passive buffs here are actually very, very nice. So at least we have that to look forward to. Now, going to the wiki, or not the wiki, or the Google Doc. Let's take a look at Hishi Amazon here to see exactly how good she is. Now, this is rated from 1 to 5. So we have team trials, we have parents, and then we have runners. So these are the 3 here. So 1 means that they're really, really bad in this category, and then 5 is they're really, really good and pretty much meta. So let's go ahead and take a look at Hishi Amazon. Alright, so taking a look at Hishi Amazon here. So her ratings are, as an end runner, she has a 1, so she's really bad. She's really bad as a runner. In team trials, she has a 3 as a mid-end runner, so decent, like basically middle of the road, like, so she's like average. And then as a parent, she's 2, so that's pretty much also very bad. So as you guys can see here, she's not really a great Uma to be going after, because these are not that close to 5. So yeah, pretty bad, right? Like Seeing Sky, like I mentioned in the last video, if you guys did watch that, which I do recommend. She was a 5 for parent. That means she's really, really good as a parent, so you want to get her if you can. But then in this case, you know, we're really close to 1 here on all of these except team trials, which is like a 3, which is like I said, middle of the road. But yeah, not that great. So let's look at the little summary here. So Amazon's unique isn't consistent for team trials, but her golds are. Her first evolved skill can help her trigger her unique and could be good on some tracks like the Tenno Show Autumn. Storm and Stress is basically heart and soul, so it's not very desirable. And then having both end closer corners and straight built in is nice, but overall one of the worst end closers in the game. So yeah, if you do like Hishi Amazon though, go ahead, feel free to summon. But if you're looking for meta and stuff, or if you're like wondering should I pull, like is like the actual Uma like usable at all or good at anything, yeah, not really. It's just not really that great. But at the same time, as I always say, if you like the Uma, go ahead, fuck meta, pull for who you want. You know, if you really like whatever Uma's coming out, just pull for her. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. At the end of the day, what matters is you having fun, right? And then let's go over to the support cards. So, I would use the other tier list here, but they haven't updated it currently yet for global, so we're just going to be using this other one that I do have, because I have a couple different tier lists here, but for the most part, they're fairly accurate, right? So, let's look at the first one here. So this is going to be based off the SR card. If you guys don't know, this is the SR card over here with, I forget what Uma this is. It says, oh, Shinko Windy. So with Shinko Windy here, this SR card, it's going to be speed. I know it's cut out here, but this is going to be for speed. And this is a bit more relevant to what is on global, because I think this is going to be, I think this has all the support cards for the first year of Uma. So this will be really relevant for us currently. So this one is actually considered an A tier one at you know, MLB. So this is actually a really good support card to grab if you are able to get it at MLB. It's actually very good. It's up there with Toshino here. I think it's her name, right? Toshino. It's really good with that one at MLB. So it's literally one of the best support cards in the game. Oh, okay, well, not best in the game, but you know what I mean, right? Like best SR support cards in the game. Like it's really good. So if you guys are able to get the MLB, consider yourselves lucky, because it's actually very good. Otherwise, if you're liking a little bit dupes, you know, not as great, but overall it's a pretty good card. Now, in terms of the banner, if it's worth rolling on, not necessarily, because like, let's take a look at the SSR card, because that's what matters a bit more, technically, to an extent. This one is a power card. It's going to be the Bamboo Memory one here. And if we take a look at MLB, it is considered a B tier one at MLB, so it's not that great. And there's literally like several other SR cards here that are literally better than it at MLB, or on the same tier at it at MLB. So that's pretty much proof right there that like this SSR card is not that great. It can be usable, like it is B tier right here, but at the same time we literally have like 2 SR cards that are literally better than it, and 2 other ones that are on the same par on it. So yeah, not really something I would recommend to go for. However, as a little bit of a sneak peek, if you guys have made it this far into the video, the next support card banner, which should be for the fantasy stuff coming up, which I think should be next week, that support card banner actually seems to be pretty good, because if you guys notice here, it's actually an A tier at MLB, so maybe something to look out for in the future. But that's like a little sneak peek, you know, for when I make that video next week. Anyways, I think that pretty much wraps things up here. So overall, as a quick little summary, do you need a summon for Hishi Amazon? Not really. If she's a waifu, go ahead, feel free to. Otherwise, if you're looking for meta, if you're interested in if she's good or not really that great. And the support card banner, yes, the SR card is very good. The SSR card is kind of like slightly above mid, but not really something you would need to go out of your way for. Besides, we're going to be getting way better Umas and way better support card banners relatively soon, so be on the lookout for that. But with that being said though, guys, hope the video helps you guys out. And that being said, I'm going to see y'all later. Good luck, you guys, pulse, and peace, and take care, everybody.